All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. A lot of people out there think that if they don't have a 401k, they're, just kind of out of luck when it comes to saving for retirement.
Oh yeah, I hear that a lot.
But thankfully, that's, just not the case. There are so many other options out there.
Right, and we actually just came across a presentation from Don P. Baker of the Don P. Baker Financial Group,
That's right.
called "How to Save for Retirement Without a 401k."
And it is packed with great info.
Yes.
So in this deep dive, that's exactly what we're going to be doing, diving deep into that presentation and exploring all these different options for retirement savings.
Yeah, when I think about it, it's kind of like, you're setting out on this journey towards retirement.
Right.
And, a lot of people think you can only take one path, the 401k path, but there's this whole, secret network of trails and back roads.
Hidden shortcuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're going to uncover all those and figure out, how to make the most of them.
I love that. So let's start with something that we hear about all the time, IRAs. We've got the traditional and the Roth. Can you just break down the difference for us?
Yeah, so with a traditional IRA, your contributions may be tax deductible right now, and that money grows tax deferred. And you're only going to be paying taxes when you actually withdraw that money in retirement.
Okay, so like I'm getting a little bonus from Uncle Sam right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a little thank you for, being responsible and saving for the future.
I like that little thank you note in the form of a tax deduction.
Absolutely. And then you've got the Roth IRA, which is, kind of the opposite.
Okay.
You're contributing after tax dollars, meaning you've already paid taxes on that money, but then all those qualified withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free.
So I'm paying now, but later on I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you get to enjoy all those fruits of your labor tax-free in retirement.
Okay, that makes sense. And so with both types of IRAs, the 2024 contribution limit is $7,000.
That's right. Or if you're 50 or older, you can contribute up to $8,000.
Okay, cool. So make sure to max those out if you can.
Definitely. And the beauty of IRAs is, they're like this really solid foundation for your retirement savings.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about some options that are specifically for self-employed folks or freelancers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Don Baker refers to these as self-employed superpowers.
He does.
The SEP IRA and the solo 401k.
Superpowers they are.
Okay, so let's break down what makes them so super.
All right, so first off, you've got the SEP IRA. With a SEP, you can actually contribute up to 25% of your net earnings from self-employment.
Wow, 25%.
Yeah,
That's a lot more than a traditional IRA.
it is. And what's really cool about that is, for a lot of people who are self-employed, their income fluctuates from year to year.
Right.
So you can adjust those contributions, if you have a really good year.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot more flexibility than I thought.
Absolutely. And then you've got the solo 401k,
Right.
where you're essentially acting as both the employee and the employer for your own business.
Got it.
And this allows you to make contributions both as an employee and as an employer, which really increases that, potential for savings.
Oh, I like that it's like giving myself a company match.
Exactly. You're the best boss you could ask for, right?
That's true. That's true. All right, so moving on to something a little different. Taxable brokerage accounts. No contribution limits. No early withdrawal penalties. Sounds pretty good to me.
It does sound pretty good, right?
But what's the catch?
Yeah, so the trade-off here is you're going to be paying taxes on any earnings in that account.
Okay,
But the flip side is you have a ton of flexibility.
right?
You can invest in pretty much anything: stocks, ETFs, bonds, index funds.
Yeah, you can really build a diversified portfolio.
You can, and, if you need to access that money for any reason,
Right.
you're not going to be penalized for taking it out early.
All right, so it's like I have a lot of freedom and control,
Exactly.
but I also need to be mindful of the tax implications.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, weighing those different factors and seeing what makes sense for your situation.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's something that I found really interesting. HSAs, health savings accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Don Baker calls them a healthcare and retirement powerhouse.
He's not wrong. So tell me why.
Well, for starters, you get a triple tax advantage.
Okay.
Your contributions are tax deductible, the money grows tax-free, and then those withdrawals for qualified medical expenses
Right.
are also tax-free.
So I'm saving on taxes at every step of the way.
You got it.
Okay. But how do HSAs actually help me with retirement?
Yeah, so here's the cool thing. Once you reach age 65,
Okay.
you can actually use those HSA funds for anything.
Really?
Yeah,
Not just medical expenses.
not just medical expenses, so it becomes like this extra retirement account.
Oh, okay. That's a game changer. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to have to look into that more.
Yeah, definitely worth exploring. All right, let's move on to annuities.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of different opinions about these out there,
Mm-hmm.
but Don Baker mentions that they can provide a steady, predictable income stream in retirement.
Exactly. And that's, a big part of their appeal for a lot of people.
Right, especially if you're, worried about running out of money,
Mm.
or you just want that peace of mind knowing that you have a guaranteed income coming in.
Yeah, especially as you get closer to retirement and you're thinking about, how am I going to actually fund my lifestyle?
Right.
That can be really appealing. And, there are different types of annuities, so you can kind of choose what aligns best with your, risk tolerance and your goals.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those different types. We've got fixed annuities and indexed annuities. What's the difference?
All right, so with a fixed annuity, you're basically locking in a guaranteed rate of return.
Okay,
So it's very predictable. You know exactly what you're going to get.
like a pension almost.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're someone who really values stability and you don't want to have to worry about market fluctuations,
Hmm.
that can be a good option.
Okay, makes sense. Now, what about indexed annuities?
Yeah, so index annuities are a little bit more, tied to the market, so you have the potential for higher returns.
Okay,
But there's also, a little bit more risk involved, but they usually have some downside protection as well.
all right, so it's like I have the potential to earn more,
You do.
but I'm also taking on a bit more risk.
Exactly. So again, it just depends on, your individual comfort level.
Got it. Okay, now I want to talk about real estate. Everyone wants to own a beach house in retirement, right?
Of course, who doesn't?
But seriously though, Don Baker talks about real estate as a way to potentially build wealth for retirement.
Yeah, real estate can be a great option. It's a tangible asset, something you can see and touch.
Right.
And it has the potential to appreciate in value over time.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that we can invest in real estate for retirement?
Well, you could, buy rental properties
Okay,
and generate passive income that way.
so be a landlord.
Exactly. Yeah, you could be a landlord or you could invest in REITs.
REITs.
Yeah, real estate investment trusts. And those are basically like mutual funds for real estate.
Right, okay.
So you're getting diversification and it's a more hands-off approach.
All right, so I can choose my level of involvement.
Exactly.
Okay, now one last thing that Don Baker emphasizes is the importance of automation and consistency.
Yes, he's all about, making it as easy as possible to save.
Right, so things like setting up automatic contributions to your IRA or to your brokerage account.
Exactly. And that's such a powerful tool because it takes the decision-making out of it.
You're not tempted to spend the money.
Exactly. The money goes straight into savings before you even have a chance to think about it.
So it's like paying yourself first.
Exactly. You're prioritizing your future self.
I like that. So as we wrap up here, what are some key takeaways that we can leave our listeners with?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is you don't need a 401k to save for retirement.
Right.
There are so many different options out there.
And honestly, it might be even better.
It might be because you have so much more control. You can customize your plan to fit your specific needs and goals.
And your risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, as we've gone through all these different options, you can start to see how you can really diversify those sources of retirement income,
Right.
which is going to give you more security and flexibility down the road.
That's such a good point. So think about, do you want rental income? Do you want annuities? Do you want to tap into your HSA? Do you want to rely mostly on your IRA? You can build this really robust plan.
Exactly. And it's not about finding the one perfect solution. It's
Right.
about finding the right combination of solutions that works for you.
Yeah, I love that. So,
Yeah.
it can feel overwhelming at first,
It can.
but it's exciting too because you have all these options and you can really create the retirement that you want.
Absolutely. And the most important thing is to just get started.
Right. Start exploring these options. Start taking action, and you'll be well on your way to a comfortable and secure retirement.
Couldn't have said it better myself.